The boys are back in town.
What's the unboxing? What'd it be? Well, I don't know. Shut up and see.
Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. So if there is a book you love, how many copies of that book are too much? You know, I mean, you could give a range, like 3 copies of that book, 5 copies? What about 11? Well, this here is my 12th copy of Boys in the Valley. Now, those other 11 editions are spread across publishers and formats, and 2 of them are in languages I don't read, but those are minor details. When they come out with a new cover and a new format, paperback, you gotta collect it. You have to. And so I went over to By TBR. They were advertising. They had signed copies of Boys in the Valley. And so I pre-ordered it. Now, they said signed, and a lot of other places were saying signed with bookplate. That's a distinction that means something to me. If you tell me it's signed, I'm going to assume it is signed in the book. And I do like to have both the signed book plates, because I like to collect those, and the signature directly signed into the book or on a tipped-in signature page. But that page has to be designed like VJ Books did it, where they had that page where it was designed and then they tipped it in. So I ordered this expecting a signature, and what I got was as advertised. It is signed within the book and not on a separate book plate. But that book plate is affixed to the dedication page. I don't know if that's the correct place to affix a book plate, but they did it, and you don't have the choice now. I think if I do have an opportunity to meet Philip Fracassi in the future, I will ask him to sign this directly in. So I was a little bummed to see that. If it's a book plate that's affixed, still call it a book plate, because I'm expecting the signature directly put in there by the author. But here we are with a beautiful book. This first one I got. I am also getting signed with a book plate from Underbrush. So I ordered from them, and so I'll know that that book plate will just be tucked in there. And for me to affix or not to affix, that would be the question. So stoked to have it. Comes with a bookmark and well packaged, well shipped. It was in a padded envelope, but it's a paperback, so that's allowed. I'm not sure I would have done an unboxing just for that, although I do want to make everybody aware that that is an amazing book, and it is now in paperback form, and you could get signed copies. So I would like to point you in those directions. And this is the one with the blurb from Stephen King, Old School Horror. You have Stephen King, the master of old school horror, dubbing this book Old School Horror. That is a bona fide, legitimized endorsement. It's pretty amazing. I mean, I can't understate that. That is pretty amazing. But they put another thing in the bag that I wasn't expecting. And so I'm like, I got to bust the camera out for this and capture this. They have a blind date with a book subscription service where you can indicate what you want, mystery or horror or what have you. And they will send you a book wrapped thusly, and they will be like matchmakers. They're setting you up with a new read, a new author, something that perhaps you wouldn't have chosen to read, but will enjoy because of their matchmaking prowess. I've seen some bookstores do that, like Second and Charles. They'll wrap the book in a brown paper, and then they'll write details of what that book is about or what the themes in the book, and it'll be like, an apocalypse wipes out the world. Where will you stand? It's like, good or evil, where would you stand? I don't think they'd be on the nose like that, but you see what I'm saying. They'll give a little clue, a hint as to what it is. And that's fun. It's fun until you think, well, they're going to wrap up books that they couldn't sell otherwise. But that's fine. We're going to just shelf that for a minute, because I don't know that that's what Death by TBR did. I'm not saying that that's what they did at all, just so to be clear. And it is a lot of fun. And I didn't ask for this. They threw it in there, so it's really sweet of them. So much props. Does it balance out affixing the book plate, not even telling me it's a book plate? Sure. I'm not really mad about that. I just thought perhaps it should just don't affix it then. Just say it's signed, and technically it is because the book plate was supposed to go with it. Just tuck it in there, and I'll stick it if I want to stick it. So here we are. We're gonna find out who they're setting me up with here. So, la-di-da, la-di-do. What if this is a book I'm dying to get? Ooh, it's an advanced reader's copy of The Last Hamilton, a thriller from Jen Bregman. The Last Hamilton. We almost got all of them, but there's this Last Hamilton. That's cool. I know nothing about it. It is not signed or book plated. Let me tell you what this book's about. After the last heir of Alexander Hamilton's line is murdered, her heartbroken husband and best friend team up in this twisty thriller where a mysterious death uncovers not just an ancient secret society, but the treasures it holds. Perfect for fans of Dan Brown and Sarah Penner. So if that got y'all salivating in a salivating way, check it out. My TBR is going to kill me, so Death by TBR is very accurate. I don't know how long it'll take for me to get to this, but it's a lot of fun, a sweet surprise, and I thank the folks over there at Death by TBR. I'm going to put the link in the description so you can get a Boys in the Valley paperback. You definitely need to get that book if you haven't. It's a fantastic book. And in the meantime, I'm going to shelve number 12. I'm going to have to probably, it's going to be fun because it's going to really, this book is going to upset the apple cart. This is the last one that's going to fit on that shelf, or it's going to nudge something off. So anyway, that's my fun project for later. Thank you for joining me this time. Hope to see you again next time. In the meantime, stay frosty.